Hi. So in the last video we were done with the routing section. And now in this video what I would like to do, I would like to create a user product model and the product route, so that we are not done, but at least we can have our products ready, and we will have some kind of data in our products object or collection in the database, so that we can, in the next video, we can fetch those products and show them in our website. So for now, let's just gonna say product model.js. We have to do the same thing in the mongoose, and the same thing here. The difference is it will be product and it will also be product. This is going to be product and this is going to be product. Similarly, we are gonna copy this from the user model, paste it here. It's going to be product schema, mongoose schema name. We don't need email in product or password, we can get rid of them. We need the price, and price should be of type number, and it must be required. And next will be count in a stock. How much stock do we have? So it's also going to be number, and it's also going to be required. Next we can have like brand, it's going to be string, and it's also going to be required equals to true. Brand and category, and type string, and required equals to true. And what do we need more in our product? Yeah, we need a user, the user which has uploaded the products, the admin it will be. So we need to get the ID of this particular user schema in our product model. So for that user lookup field, maybe we can say type equals to mongoose dot schema dot types dot object ID. That's going to be the type, and it's also going to be required to true. And when we have to define the reference, and the reference will be the user model. So that's it. And do we need other fields in our product? The name, price, count and stock, brand, category. Oh yes, the most important one is image, and it's also going to be type of string, and required equals true. And the description, type of string, and required equals to true. And it's product, we are exporting the product, and the name is product. And so I think we are done with the product model, and I have misspelled it, so I have to rename it. We have to remove that. And we are also done here. Now I want to go to the client and remove some stuff. So from the app.html, like this div, we don't need that, and these links too, we don't need them. The HRs, basically we are gonna remove everything for now. We don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need any kind of route right now. We just need the navbar. So it will change up it here. Okay, so we have to remove that, and then yep, that's showing correct. And in the navbar HTML, okay, it doesn't matter for now. So next, what I want to do, I want to go back to the server, and I want to create a product route, so that we have different routes for different queries, or I would say APIs. We have user route. Similarly, we are going to have a product route. So let me create a new file, product route.js, and what we have in our, we're gonna copy that, paste it in here, and module.export, copy, paste, router.post. But no, we are going to get router.get, and I haven't created that. Get all product, and we are going to create that here. Const get all product, arrow function, request response, sorry, equals to arrow function. Yeah, and we are just gonna say res.json, and for now, okay, for now we are gonna say res.json products. And it should be products, and it also should be product. So a dummy, and now I want to go to my server api.js, and similar to the user, we are gonna say products, and it will be product routes. So we have to import that. Const product routes equals to require from model, we have product model. So we are successfully getting that product model, product routes. It's not from the model, sorry, my mistake. It must be from the routes, and this should be the file. It should be product routes. Yeah. And now when I click on this, it takes us to this particular file, so it means we are importing that correctly. So finally, to get data from the database, we have to import the product model, require slash dot slash model slash product model, and we're gonna say const products equals to product dot find, and so we are passing this empty object, so it means bring back all the products in our database. And when we are getting something from database, then it should be await, and for using the await we have to define async in here. And it says the error, yeah, I told you that we are gonna get rid of these errors, so let's just do that quickly. It says no unused vars, so we have to go this eslintric.json, and we have to define a few things here. No unused vars off, so now that's gone. Also in the db.js, no, it's not in here. So whenever we'll get some kind of these errors, which are the best practice in LWC, we are going to turn them off. That's it. And what we are going to do, we are going to say response.status equals to 200.json, and we are going to send all the products from our database. And also we have to get rid of that, and we have to write clg get all products, so that we will have a console whenever this route is hit. So I guess that's it. And now what we have to do, we have to insert the dummy data in our database. I have already did that, but I'm gonna show you how you can do that. So you have to go to your MongoDB Atlas, maybe in MongoDB Campus, or going to the Chrome and log into your, I use this particular MongoDB Compass. So in here you have to create collection, and you have to define products and create collection. I have already created that, and after that I have just put in some dummy data in here. And for the images, currently I am getting those images directly from a particular URL, and I'm gonna provide this dummy data in the description. What you have to change is you have to go to your database, and from this users, you might have a single user which we created in our previous video. Copy this particular ID, and then again go to their products, and replace that in each of the products, because the ID which I'm gonna give you in a file are will not be the same user ID in your database. It must be different. So that's why you have to copy this, and then in your products you have to just double click on it and you can change that and update. So you have to do it for all the 5 products which I am gonna give you. It will be in the description. And finally we are going to get in the front end side. So in the app, what I want to do right now, I want to get rid of these testing and the greeting folder because we don't need those, and I'm gonna create a new folder called home, and for inside that home.html and home.js. Sorry, I have created a folder. To remove that, we are gonna create a new file.js. So just copy this from this particular file and paste it in here and replace that with home, and in the HTML file save that in the HTML file template. So what I want to do, I want to create a reusable component called product, which on which we are going to loop through and loop through all the products, and for each product we are gonna render that particular component. So I'm not gonna go because that particular component is not going to be any kind of screen, but it will be a reusable component. So that's why I'm gonna create a new folder called utils. So that's the folder structure which I'm gonna follow, and inside that folder I'm gonna create that component which will be called like product, and inside this product folder we are going to say product.html and product.js, and copy the front lines and change that to product home product, yeah, template. And here it will be an API. I'm going to use API. Why? Because I want this particular property to be accessible publicly, so that's why I have to denote that with API, and that property name will be product, and I have to import the API from that. And also I'm gonna say is loading. While we fetch data, then we have to show a loader, so that's why. Or I guess we don't need that in here, we just need that product. We will need that in our home component, home screen, and this product will be filled inside this particular. So we are gonna call this product component inside our home component, home HTML, and loop through all the products which we get from the database and render this particular component for each product. But first we are going into the home component, home screen, and what we want to do is we will try to fetch the products from our backend using this particular route which we created earlier. And what's the route we have to hit? This one, API/products, and it will take us to the product routes, and it says slash, means if we don't pass anything after the slash, it's gonna get all the products, and in future we are gonna pass the product ID so that it will only fetch the single product. So from here in our home, we can go to the app.js and we can copy this, any of the, and we're gonna paste that. And after that, what we have to do, we are not going to do testing, it's going to be products, because the route is API/product in our backend. So it's going to be products, it's going to be a get method, so we don't need the body or header. And then the response, we are gonna console the response or we're gonna say JSON dot stringify the response before consoling it. And if we get any kind of errors, then also show that in our, I would say, get all products. And I want this particular method to be called whenever the page loads. So we have a hook called connected callback, and inside that we can say get all products. And as we know that we are fetching, so we should use async await for that. And I guess that it should work properly. And for that, for checking it out, we have to, in our app component, we have to call that home component. So it's going to be my dash home, and in home, so it's getting rendered properly, we're gonna say h1 or maybe home component. And now when we go into the front end and we refresh, so it says home, means it's properly rendering the home component. And when we see the console, are we getting, no, we are not getting the data back. Console.log, and I want to just put that so that, yep, we are getting no data back. So we have to fix that. So it shows get all products, means our route is working perfectly fine. But here's the mistake: we are doing JSON.stringify. Instead, we have to do JSON res.json. So I hope that now we will get something. And if I refresh, yeah, now we are getting object and promise. So back to the console. What we have to do now, I have to say res.json, and after that we have to .10. Now res.json, we have converted the response into JSON, and now finally we are stringifying that particular response JSON. Now it should show, I guess, if we load. And if I say clg console.log, just for confirmation, some few colons, and then res.json, and now if I refresh, yep, now we are getting that data, all of the products, keyboard, mouse, all the products which are in our database. So we are sure that this particular route is working perfectly fine, and we are getting the data in our home component. So now what we have to do, we have to define like products, it's going to be an array, and is loading, we have to show a loader, and it's going to be false by default. Sorry. And as soon as this product is hit, this is loading should be set to true, and it must set to false finally in the catch, or maybe after this. And in here, what I want to do, I don't want to console.log that JSON. I want this products to be that res JSON. Yep, res JSON means when we are converting the response in JSON, and then we are assigning that converted response into the products. And now we, in our HTML file, we have to loop through that. So just to quickly show you how we are going to do that, we are going to say products. First we will say template, and we will say if true, means if we have products, then only show this particular div. Otherwise, if the product, or we are gonna say, sorry, my mistake, we can also use that is loading, that if is true is loading, then show spinner. Currently I'm not going to implement that, I am just simply typing that spinner, and if that loading is completed, say false, is loading is false, and we have to check another thing. If true, products means loading is set to false and we have got the products. So now what we can do, we can say template for loop. We can use for each products, and we have to define for item equals to simply product pro. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna get the name for each product. Okay, so now we are getting this earphones, earbuds, and if I'm show you like, so then you can get the idea what I'm doing. Okay, so whenever we are looping through a list, we have to define a key property. So we are gonna say div with key, and for that key property we are gonna say pro dot underscore id, and inside that we are gonna just call the name, and it's a div, so automatically line will be break. Yep, now we are getting that. So for we are sure that we are getting the products and we are able to get that, and you can see also a spinner for a particular, yeah, that's means that when it's loading we can show the spinner too. So now what we have to do, we have to go to our component side in utils.product, and we have to create this product component, and then we can use that product component in our home.html here in the inside this loop. And we also have to get this spinner component, or maybe a few lines to get the spinner working properly fine. So I guess this video is quite too long, so we are gonna do that in the next video. Thank you so much.